Hello friends, this is Durga again from ITversity, a one-stop shop to learn all the technologies. So as part of getting started with Spark, we will see what are different modules in Spark. It is very important to understand these different modules so that you can use the relevant module for different purposes. So the first one is Core Spark. Core Spark is nothing but a group of transformations and actions which we will see down the line. It has transformations such as map, reduce, reduce by key, aggregate by key, join, co-group, and many others. Okay, those are the core Spark transformations, and also they have actions such as reduce is an action, not transformation, count, to iterate through the items in Spark-based collections called RDD. It has an action called collect, where RDD will be collected into another collection from which you can iterate using for each function and print. Okay, so all these are core APIs for Spark. We will see as part of the videos where I will demonstrate how to write Spark-based applications in both Scala and Python. We will actually get into the details about these transformations and actions. So if you want to process the data using functional programming languages, you need to understand these core Spark APIs. On top of that, if you can define structure on top of data, and if you are good in SQL, okay, in that scenario, you should explore data frames, data sets, or SQL. So using data frames or data sets or SQL, you can actually define the structure on the data programmatically at the runtime, and then you can actually invoke queries, SQL queries, on top of those structures which are defined as data frames. You can actually register those as temporary tables, and you can write SQL queries on top of temporary tables. So that's where the module data frames, data sets, and SQL comes into picture. It's integration of RDDs with SQL by creating the structure at runtime. Again, you will understand that as part of the topic. I will be covering data frames also as part of this Spark course. And on top of that, if you want to do some analytics before pushing data using Spark APIs into some target, okay, which is called as streaming analytics. So you get data from weblogs at regular intervals in micro batches such as 1 minute, 5 minutes, etc. And if you want to process that data quickly by running certain analytics, you have to use streaming technologies such as Storm or Spark Streaming. Spark's answer to that is Spark Streaming. So Spark Streaming takes data from other tools which actually pull data from the sources in real time, such as Flume and Kafka. Spark Streaming can take the data and run analytics. Kafka and Flume are not capable of running analytics. They just extract data from different sources and try to push without much transformations onto the target. And then if you have to perform transformations when the data is being pushed by Flume or Kafka, tools such as Flume and Kafka, then you have to use technologies like Storm and Spark Streaming. So Spark Streaming is the module which can run real-time analytics on top of the data which is sourced from Kafka or Flume, and you can actually process the data in real time and then push it to the target you want. Okay, Spark can read data from any file system or any database where there is the input format, and also it can write data to any file system or any database where it has the output format. So Spark can play that middle role in a Spark Streaming module to run the real-time analytics. And then if you want to implement machine learning libraries, machine learning algorithms, Spark MLlib is the answer for it. So you need to understand MLlib APIs to apply certain machine learning algorithms on top of the data to process and then push the data to the target. So it's another module which is built on top of CoreSpark. So CoreSpark is core for everything. You have to know CoreSpark and you have to build all these modules on top of it. Okay, and then GraphX is the module for the graph programming. Okay, if you want to do some graph processing as part of your applications, then either you have to use GraphX APIs or Bagel APIs. Bagel APIs are based on Google's Peggle, which is again a graph processing API or graph processing algorithms, and Bagel implements those algorithms in Spark. So if you want to use Google-based Peggle algorithms as part of your modules, you can use Bagel. And then R, if you want to use R programming to process the data, you can use R module also. So these are the different modules. R is not a module actually. R is like Spark with Scala, Spark with Java, and Spark with Python, and also Spark with R. You can use R programming constructs to write programs using R as programming language instead of Scala, Python, or Java. So the reason why we have R as different module is, if you go to the Spark documentation, okay, spark.apache.org docs, and here if you go to 1.6.2, if you go to the programming guides, again I will explain how to access documentation effectively as part of the next video. You can see if you go to Spark programming guide, which covers core APIs, so this documentation covers core APIs, and you can see Scala, Java, and Python are there here. If you change this, you will see the Python based syntax and semantics. If you choose Scala, you will see Scala based syntax and semantics, and if you choose Java, you will see Java based syntax and semantics. But R is very recent. Instead of updating this documentation, they have created a Spark R, and here you will see the Spark related documentation, and it is significantly different the way it is organized when it comes to Scala based or Python based or Java based documentation, because it does not provide all the features which you see as part of Scala and Python and Java. It is relatively new and it is a little bit different. That's why it is treated as a different module. Okay, so this is how you can actually access that. These are the modules that are part of Spark, CoreSpark, which is nothing but transformations and actions such as map, reduce by key, etc. Data frames, datasets or SQL, where you can define the structure or use the existing structure to write SQLs on top of them. It covers Hive also, Hive in Spark context also, this module. Spark streaming is to run analytics in real time, sourcing data from tools such as data ingestion tools such as Kafka, Flume, etc. MLlib is to apply machine learning algorithms. GraphX and Bagel are primarily for graph processing, and R for Spark R. Okay, and you can see the modules here. So you have Apache Spark Core API here. You have Spark SQL, which include data frames and data sets. You have Spark streaming. You have MLlib. You have GraphX. Like that, there are many other modules, and in future there might be few more modules also. So this is the module level architecture in Spark. Okay, so that being said, if you like the content, please provide the feedback, and also please give me the rating. If you see any issues with the content, please provide the feedback so that I can get back to you fixing that issue, so that you can give the full rating, but make sure you give full rating so that I get good traction in the portal. That being said, thank you. Bye.